In every generation, two Prose Bros are born. Chosen to watch every episode of Buffy and tell you what they think about them. This is the Prose Bros Visit Sunnydale. Season 2.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Prose Bros Visit Sunnydale. I am Geoff.
And I'm Eddie.
And today we are doing School Hard.
It's a Die Hard reference.
Is it?
I mean, yeah, right? They're all stuck in a school and they're being held hostage and she...
I guess you're right. I totally didn't even think of it like that.
What did you think it meant? Like, school's hard?
I don't know. I guess I thought it was more a joke on the education level of Buffy. That instead of saying school is hard, she'd be all school hard.
Whoa. I mean, you went a different place with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it's a Die Hard reference.
Okay. It makes more sense that way.
All right. So, what do you think about this one?
You know, when I found out we were doing this one next, I was like, oh, cool. The first time we see Spike. And I still thought it was cool, but...
I think Spike did a good job.
Yeah, him and Drusilla, in a way, definitely killed it.
She killed her shitty role. Her roles, I mean, there's just not much to her at this point.
She actually got that role without auditioning. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah. Josh Whedon liked her so much that he was like, you can have it.
Auditioning?
Yeah.
So she just like walked into the room and he was like, you're hired.
He wanted specifically her.
Oh.
Well, I think it was from Ed Wood when he saw her
performance.
Oh,
okay. That's kind of like an audition though.
Well, you know.
I'm sure the girl that played Sheila didn't have an Ed Wood to go to. Like, she didn't have a movie that's as good in caliber. I think she was on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but I don't think Joss Whedon was going to watch that and be like, you're hired.
I don't know. I'm sure it also helps that her dad's Martin Landau, and she comes from, like, a movie background, family background.
Sheila?
No, Drusilla.
I mean, maybe we should tell people who Sheila is. No.
They're like, who's Sheila? What?
Sheila's this awesome Prince song. The one that's all, oh, Sheila. That song?
So, this episode was written by Josh Whedon and David Greenwalt.
Oh, yeah. David Greenwalt, known for being the main guy for Angel.
Yeah.
I love Angel.
Yeah.
I want to blow him with a velvet coat on.
Wait, while you're wearing the velvet coat, or he is? Or both?
Both. That's the best part of it. It's like Night of the Roxbury, but weird. And I'm not like little like Chris Kattan. I'm assuming he's playing the Will Ferrell character.
Okay, whatever works in your fantasy.
If I'm thinking of Night of the Roxbury and a blowjob, Chris Kattan is always blowing Will Ferrell.
All right.
Just so you guys know. It's because he's shorter. It's easier.
That's it. All right. Hey, so what is this episode about, Eddie?
All right, so it's a reference to Die Hard. So Buffy's a bad seed, and she gets called into the principal's office with this other girl. Her name's Sheila, like the Prince song. And he's like, "You're stupid scum, and we hate you, and you should die." And they're like, "That's weird." And then he's like, "Because of this, on parent-teacher night, you guys have to decorate and make punch and have treats for everybody." And Sheila's like, "Whatever, I freebase heroin." And Buffy's like, "Yeah, okay, I don't want to get kicked out of school, and I don't want my mom."
Yeah, it's stupid. You have to do this or you get expelled.
And there's no point in it except for like giving Buffy an ultimatum and whatnot. Buffy is not a bad student. She's trying real hard, and she's saving the world, damn it. And Sheila is a bad student, and she's a kind of a piece of shit. And she's really fucking ugly. Like, I'm sorry. I know she's a producer, and I'm probably going to get, like, blacklisted from Hollywood for saying that.
Yeah, once all these producers hear this podcast, you're going to be fucking running, done.
Man. I mean, a close to 40-year-old dude that's out of shape talks shit about everything. I'm gold. So Sheila is into this Triple H looking motherfucker that's outside. Long blonde hair and
Yeah, so after them being in the principal's office and they get this ultimatum, you see the Triple H guy, which Eddie just is amused with. I don't think it has anything to do with the plots.
I just wanted to bring him up because
You did.
If you watch this episode, just as soon as you see him, just picture him like doing the pedigree.
I was more thinking, I was like, that guy looks like a young dog, the bounty hunter.
Oh, yeah, that works too. Yeah.
So they all go outside, and right before they cut to the theme song, Xander's like, oh, well, everything should go okay on Saturday when you do the parent-teachers night, as long as something bad doesn't happen or whatever. Basically, jinxing them. And they get all pissed, and immediately you cut to Spike, or the character we will know as Spike, just this ominous bleach blonde dude getting out of what I think is a Cadillac.
Yeah, Cadillac when he runs over the Welcome to Sunnydale sign, which is his like approach to coming to Sunnydale every time. So he kind of looks like Billy Idol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that on purpose, do you think?
I thought it was.
Yeah. He's got a cohort with him. She is a very beautiful, very weird acting fellow vampire named Drusilla. And she talks in riddles, and she sees smells and smells colors. Or something like that. I don't know. So she's like kind of out of it. They find the little boy that was from the first 3 episodes of the first season, or the 6th episode of the first season, called the Anointed One, right? The little annoying kid that looks like Haley Joel Osment or whatever.
Yes, the young old or the old young kid.
Either way, you'd have no idea if he looks old as a kid or young as an adult. But I'm sure he looks fucked up now. Either way. He finds him, and they're saying, "Oh, this Saturday there's a, I don't know what it was, like a flea market or something that they're like, the farmer's market's coming, and we have to wait to kill Buffy till the farmer's market on Saturday."
It was something they were calling, I think it was like Saint Vigius.
Yeah, Saint Vigil or Saint Vigius. Yeah, Saint Vigius. And that was a farmer's market that was going to happen on Saturday. And so they wanted to save the killing of Buffy till then. And Spike doesn't play by the rules. Spike actually makes his own rules.
Well, I thought they waited till Saturday, right?
No. The whole thing that at the end, they're like, "I told you we should wait till Saturday. Your impatience has cost us a Vigius. The vigil, the farmer's market."
You ruined the farmer's market.
You fucking ruined the farmer's market. Now I can't sell fucking some banana bread. Or whatever you sell at farmer's market. Some like turquoise or something. Anyway, so teacher parent night is coming up, and Sheila doesn't show up because she's a bad seed, and Buffy's there painting the sign by herself, and
she's painting Banner, Michael.
She's painting Banner. Oh god damn. And so she's painting a banner, and Willow's helping her, and then Snyder shows up, and for some reason gets mad at Willow for helping Buffy, even though like there's no rule against helping your friends, right?
It just goes to show that he really has it out for not only kids but Buffy. He just despises Buffy.
Hates children. Hates students. So Sheila ends up coming back, and Buffy covers for her. Snyder goes away, and the day of the teacher-parent conference comes up, and Buffy starts telling her friends like, "Oh, we have to keep my mom away from Snyder because he's gonna tell her I'm a horrible person, even though she really hasn't done anything wrong. So I don't know what he would be able to tell her other than, you know, just telling her your daughter is a piece of shit," which I think her mom should be like, "No, she's not. Well, she's my daughter."
Basically, I think he was saying like at the beginning that her grades are shit, she ditches a lot, that sort of thing. And I'm sure no parent wants to hear that. Well, then again, maybe some parents don't give a shit, so I don't know.
Yeah, my parents were like, "Sweet."
But it goes to show you have Sheila versus Buffy. Sheila's parents aren't there. She doesn't give a shit. Buffy cares. She honestly cares, and that's why she's trying to make this whole parent-teacher thing happen and happen well.
So Sheila is about to be double-teamed by 2 guys that apparently own a Cadillac. And her exact quote is, "Oh, man, you guys really have a Cadillac? Because a cad really makes me wanna. And then all of a sudden, one of the guys is just gone.
Well, they're both gone.
No, and then she looks at one of them, he's gone, and then she looks the other way, and then he's gone. So like one at a time. And then super hot Spike appears. I mean, Spike's pretty fucking hot.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Right? And so she's like, oh, those two guys who were going to double team me are gone. And let's hang out with Spike. And he actually does have a Cadillac. So she gets in this Cadillac and she drives he drives her back to Drusilla's house.
We don't actually see that though.
Yeah, but it's part of the plot.
Okay, sure. For all we know, I don't know, she jumped on his back and he flew over there. That's not in the, like... That did not happen either.
What if it did? Now I'm questioning everything. You shouldn't have said that. So Spike finds a dragon and he flies her over to Drusilla with the dragon.
I feel like we should get to the school now. Okay. We should just get to the school.
So you get to the school. Oh, and one thing you do need to say is like she ends up being tied up and Drusilla feeds on her. Okay, yeah. Then you go to the school. And once you get to the school, they are trying to make Buffy's mom not talk to Snyder. That ends up not working out. Buffy's mom comes back and goes, "Let's go," to Buffy, like totally pissed off. And as they're about to leave the school, Spike and 5 or 6 other dudes jump through the window.
Which, can I say, Aunt Snyder right now, total dick move that she does all this for the parent-teacher conference and does what I can tell or perceived as an audience member as a good job, and he's still all, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, at no point did he say, oh, you know what, and she did all this by herself because I made her. Because I'm a fucking asshole.
Her mom knew that she did all that by herself.
Yeah, at the end.
Oh, no, she knew that. Like, as soon as she walks in, the first thing she says is, "You did all this by yourself?" Like, super surprised, like a jerk.
Yeah, I guess what I mean, like, just Snyder was like, he wasn't going to say that. He wasn't going to give her any sort of credit. I just think that was a dick move.
I
dick
agree.
Move, Snyder.
I also think, to be devil's advocate, that it's kind of dick of her mom to not back her up. Like, imagine your mom being told anything. Your mom would be like, "Fuck you. You want to say that again, motherfucker?" I know your mom. She's like,
well, she does at the end.
Bear, dude.
Look, and I think that's the whole point. By the end, Joyce is like, you know what? Buffy has talents, this and that. Like, she's good at certain things, and she's defending her. Then we had to go through this journey of like the actual diehard part of the story, which now makes a lot more sense while she's like going up through the vents.
Oh, yeah.
They could have really hit that home a little bit harder. Yeah. If she was walking through glass, shoeless, like,
At one point, she just, like, picks up a telephone and lights a cigarette. And she's like, "Spike, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker."
In a stained white beater.
You're like, all right, they went too far. Like, that was the line.
I wanted to see him go that far.
You would have
I guess I would have got it, yeah.
I think they probably called it that because somebody in the writing room was like, "Let's call it School Hard," and they were like, ha, 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 ha.
So it was like after the fact. It wasn't, let's make it a Die Hard episode. It's like, oh, this is...
Maybe the guy that wrote it, maybe David Greenwalt would be like, "Let's make a Die Hard episode." I could see him doing that. Maybe. I don't really know him.
Okay, so what else happens in the school? Where are we?
They start fighting with the vampires.
Yeah, Spike's basically running all over the place with his fellow vampires he got from the Anointed.
Does anybody really get bitten in that whole thing?
Well, there was that guy who went through the little window. Like, you don't see him get bitten.
Oh, but he gets, like, pulled in?
Yeah. I guess, he dies.
Once again, the cops don't do a really good job, like, cleaning up bodies or cutting off, like, police, like, investigation scenes.
Well, and now it just seems like a big cover-up, right? Do you want to get to that part? Because I have...
Well, let me just finish this real quick. Buffy beats Spike. Spike runs away. And then you go back to Joyce, and she's like, "I love you after all." And then you cut to Snyder, and
Yeah, so that's when he's talking to what is it, like some sort of police officer? Who's he talking
like
to?
a city manager or something.
It's
not
not
like
like
a mayor, but like maybe like the police chief.
Yeah,
Definitely
somebody
high up in the city.
like that, and basically saying, what are we going to do? Like, do we run like the typical story? I guess not the police, for it's when like the police come, they're getting their facts together, right?
He's like,
so
you want to do what we always do? He said it exactly like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so what I gathered, and I think you can gather like as an audience member, they know about vampires, right? That's essentially what's going on.
Yeah.
But Snyder still doesn't care, and he's still such a dick to Buffy.
Yeah.
Like, his concern, even though he's aware of that, he's all, fuck that.
Maybe
this blonde girl.
Because I'm kind of in cahoots. I'm assuming at this point he's already in cahoots with the mayor, right? Because, I mean, it's only like I don't know, a year away or maybe a summer away, technically.
Mm-hmm. It feels like something they might be building to, or this was like the first time that in the series they've acknowledged that other people
know about vampires.
Yeah. And maybe later on, maybe in the third season, they're all, hey, let's do something with that. That's how I feel about it. Not that it was like
just planting seeds and seeing what grows.
Yeah.
Right on. That makes sense to me too. All right, so you cut back to Spike, and Spike goes back to the Anointed One. Drusilla's there. They have that scene where they make out and turn to the camera, or turn to the Anointed One, and he goes and he's like, oh, I'm going to go make peace or whatever. He walks up to the Anointed One, gets on one knee, and says he's sorry, and then this other guy's like, fuck you, you're stupid. And then he's like, I'm stupid? Fuck you. And he grabs a little kid, and the little kid's like kicking and screaming in my head, like being held by the cuff, like...
Eddie's flailing his arms. You obviously can't see that. It's pretty funny.
It's pretty good. And then he throws him in a cage, and there's this one like exact little kid-sized beam of light that's up in the rafters, and he lifts him up until he hits that beam of light, and the Anointed One gets his ass anointed.
Can I tell you what I think is awesome about that scene?
What
in particular? What it means for the story in general. So up until now, the first season has largely been marked by these vampires who are like super ceremonial and almost definitely in a cheesy sort of way. And then you get this one vampire come in who's all like punk rock, anarchy, fuck it.
No fucks given.
Yeah. That is pretty much marking the end of like, oh, the ceremonies that we're doing this. And I'm not sure if they just realized, hey, this isn't working. Or they're like, you know what? After that first season, let's have somebody who's like the antithesis
they even
of
make
that.
Fun of like Anne Rice novels, which is essentially, I guess, in the first season, you could definitely say that Anne Rice novels were kind of their preset, you know?
Well, at the time, that was like the biggest vampire story around.
And it was good.
Right?
It was good.
Not around, obviously, Dracula and stuff, but it was just popular. It was like that time.
What about Lost Boys?
Well, yeah, that is too.
Best movie ever.
You know what I'm saying. You're just fucking
with you. Oh, man.
It's like, maybe, 5-6 years ago, it's Twilight. But that's what it was.
Yeah, me duele though. Me duele. What did you think about the fact that Spike had like this scar on his eyebrow? And I mean, obviously that went away.
No, it's a real scar.
That's a real scar?
Yeah.
From James Marsters?
Uh-huh.
Did they start covering it up?
I don't know, but it's a real scar. He has that scar. I've never noticed they covered it up.
Oh, maybe they just didn't put highlights around it, because I saw that scar and I was like, what the fuck?
No, that's always been there.
Oh, man. That's cool.
So, Eddie, how do you feel about the introduction of Drusilla this episode?
It was kind of boring. It was a little boring.
She doesn't really do a whole lot.
She gets more interesting later, but even then, she doesn't get that interesting, in my opinion.
Well, you can tell there's something wrong with her. They even mentioned to something that happens in Prague, and she's like a sick little crazy vampire.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Nobody likes a sick person, right?
But do they like a sick vampire?
I hate lepers. Ugh, creepy. I'm just joking. Lepers are cool. Sick vampires. Yeah, nobody wants a sick vampire. No.
So you were just like, yeah, kind of whatever about Drusilla.
It was really, really. It was kind of like not fleshed out. She was almost like a plot device.
Well, I feel like they were trying to go somewhere with it. We just didn't get enough.
They were almost trying to make maybe a Bonnie and Clyde kind of thing. But the
Yeah.
cool thing about Bonnie and Clyde is that fucking Bonnie's just as dope as Clyde, you know? And I think that that's where she didn't become a lovable character to me ever. Or never does in future episodes. Because she never really does become a fun character. She just kind of says weird shit. And kills birds and fucking shit like that. It's weird. I don't like people that kill birds.
Okay.
Birds are cool.
Like Sylvester? He tries. He doesn't actually.
Yeah, I've never liked Sylvester. I know what's Roadrunner? What's guy?
Wile E. Coyote?
Yeah, fuck that guy. He's a dick.
You look pretty intense saying that right now.
It's this hat. It's a pretty intense hat.
Do you want to describe your hat, or should I describe your hat?
It's a bear with antlers like a deer, and it says beer.
Well, with a question mark.
Yeah, that's how I said it like a question.
Oh,
Beer?
just
Beer?
What's
I was
beer?
like, see, this is normal beer. Beer. This is beer as a question. Beer. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about her? I think she kind of sucked.
Spike was definitely the more entertaining of the two.
He did a great job. He killed it.
I was kind of interested, like, pretend I've never seen the rest of the show. The little tidbits I get of Drusilla, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Why you throw in so much to both these characters? You throw in, and originally they were only going to have them on like maybe 3-4 episodes or something.
Yeah.
But to have this vampire who's kind of insane and something happened to her, like it would seem like we were missing out if they only did 3 or 4 episodes, and eventually they did build so much off of both those characters. But I was initially interested in like what is her background story. Well, I'm not super stoked on her performance, which I was with James Marsters' Spike. I was like, I want to see where she's going.
Yeah, I always thought the reveal on her would be bigger, but there was like a small reveal when she was, I guess, able to fight and walk again. But other than that, it didn't really.
I mean, but honestly, out of those two, the standout actor, person, character,
Spike
is Spike.
Yeah, he comes in just like a tornado and fucks the setup. He's like, "Hey, David Boreanaz, you kind of suck. So I'm here to pick up your slack."
And he's like, so we talked about the master, but Spike's like the first real like badass.
Yeah, he's killed 2 different fucking Slayers before.
2 Slayers. They named him Spike. Well, according to this episode, they named him Spike because he would kill people with railroad spikes.
Yeah. Other episodes there are other things, right?
They've changed it as
William the Bloody because of his bloody bad poetry,
which I like. That's
I thought that was pretty good. But at the same time, Spike in the railroad thing is cool, but it seems like that was like a big tall tale told about him or something like that.
I kind of like that though. Like a lot of Giles's books, and that will lead eventually, what I think, into some of like Angel and the Prophecy and all this stuff, where a lot of these like books seems like so much exaggeration, and who knows what's the truth and what's not.
How does he have all these books laying around, but he never read it? Like, he never read that book until Spike comes into the city.
He's got a lot of books to read, man.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you'd think you'd at least like glimpse over something like that. And all of a sudden he has like fucking whole volumes.
I have a better question. How much of that library is actually books on vampires and demons? And if there are so many of those books, are students just not going in and taking them out? Like, he just has them out. Anybody can, like, take them, but they don't?
Yeah, I guess so, man. I don't know. Maybe he has a special collection,
This goes back to my school hard theme.
Yeah, I don't know. Why don't more people try to steal books from him? Like, those got to be, like, really kind of expensive books, right?
Who would go steal them?
I don't know. I would.
You in Sunnydale would.
I would check one out and just never return it.
You know what would be fucking hilarious? You would go, you'd steal it, and you would get arrested, and you'd be pissed. You're like, oh, great. Don't catch the murderers. Don't catch the vampires.
Yeah.
I tried to steal a fucking book, and I'm going to jail.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be my luck.
So you're going to ask me about Angel?
What do you think about him this episode? It seemed like he's still a gigantic idiot and kind of shitty.
Angelus?
Anal loose? I don't know. Anal quest. I don't know.
So that's something we both noticed.
Spike calls him Angelus. No,
now we're just
Angelus. Angelus.
Well, no, it's Angelus.
It's Angelus.
Now I'm fucked up. Yeah, it's Angelus.
He's like Angelus, and it sounded weird. You know, almost it sounded like somebody would have said, "Hey, next time, say it like this."
It's basically like Los Angeles, not Angelus.
Angelus.
Well, and they're just still trying to figure out what they want to do with Angel. Well, I think they know, but they didn't even know how they were going to continuously pronounce the name. And they also... It's the first time in the series they use the term sire, which generally means that if somebody sired you, they... How can I put this?
They're your dad.
Yeah.
They're your vampire dad.
Vampire dad. I was going to try to put it a different way. But vampire. They made you, right?
Yeah. They're your vampire dad or mom.
But that's a mistake, right? Because Spike's sire is not Angel.
But no,
it's Drusilla.
It's not a mistake because later on they explain that sire is a term, like, technically the master is Angel's sire, even though Darla turned him. Like, the master is all of their sire.
Okay. Do you think that's bullshit or not? Do you think that's a way to explain away a possible mistake? Because right now that just seems kind of weird.
Well, Drusilla at one point calls Angel her sire. I guess he's her grandsire.
That doesn't sound as cool.
No, but I think that they either worked that in or somebody said that, you know, in the Buffy verse. But they were like, let's make this law.
I think that's what happened. They're like, oh yeah, let's
backtracked.
Essentially, because they like the term sire. Josh Whedon wrote it, and maybe so that's cool. But he also Spike, and this is honestly I think kind of lame. But he says Angel is his sire. He's like, you're like my Yoda. Like I don't know.
Yeah, so like he almost like defined the word to mean like, I don't know, master apprentice kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like my Yoda, man.
Like, really, Spike would, like, use a Yoda reference?
Yeah, well, who knows, man? I don't know, because he is pop culture... Out of all the vampires he would be because he is pop culture savvy. At the end of this episode, he's like, let's go see what's on TV.
That just seems so lame.
I think, like, Angel would be less likely to know what Star Wars is because the last thing he watched was, like, when Elvis got married, probably.
And also, if he's going to go with the Star Wars reference, by the way, you are wearing a Star Wars shirt.
Fuck. Shit.
So if he's going to go on maybe this is too complicated. He's like, you're like my Darth Vader, you're like my Palpatine, but that's too nerdy. Like what?
You were my Palpatine would.
So we were talking about Angel
sucking, kind of. He's still not a good fighter.
Very ineffectual.
Very, very ineffectual.
He doesn't kill any vampires. He kind of just lets them run away.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that they do really like putting Xander and Angel together at this point. I don't think it's working too much.
No, it's like it's forced. It's forced hatred. Like, neither one of them have really any reason to hate each other because...
Well, Xander does, but they're not really hitting it home.
Yeah, they're not doing it the right way. And then Angel just almost, doesn't help his case here by almost getting Xander bitten.
in Angel's defense, I am 33 years old and I don't give a shit about 16-year-old boys. Imagine like a 200-something-year-old vampire. It's like, whatever. You're annoying me. Go away. I'm just here to help Buffy.
If Xander had looked like a 16-year-old boy, I would have been like okay with it. But he looks like a 46-year-old man.
46?
He's getting older.
He would look amazing if that were the case.
He does look like an amazing 46-year-old man. Just kidding. Well, yeah, he's ineffectual. He kind of sucks. He's getting fights with Xander that are just useless, not necessary. And no interaction with Buffy this episode. You know, so now they have like this another layer of mystery behind Angel, which he could totally just come out and be like, hey guys, we're friends and we're allies, and let me tell you what's up. I used to be this bad person, and then I got a soul, and then clear all this shit up, you know? But instead, he just like comes in and goes, oh, it's bad. It's
he likes
real
to play
bad
the
this Saturday.
mysterious card.
And then fucking Batman's out of the room. Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude.
Like
ridiculous.
It's pretty funny. I don't know why he would do that. I guess he doesn't think about doing that. But it would be funnier if he did. He's like, I'm just gonna walk in there and say that just fucking leave. That'll be fucking cool.
What if he like is actually like a super heavy pot smoker and walked in there and was like, I'm really fucking paranoid right now, and like try to stay, or has like incredible anxiety?
Well, I would argue that he would have to be an edible dude, because we've established he can't breathe, so how can he smoke if he can't breathe?
True that. Yeah, but it would totally explain why he chills out this season. Like, why like his character goes from being a smirky asshole douchebag.
He's just stoned.
Yeah.
No, he's still an asshole. Like, I felt that.
Yeah, he hasn't changed a bit.
Like, he doesn't give a shit about Xander, and if you're in a room and somebody's talking to you and you just fucking leave,
you're a
like
dick.
if you did that, I'd be like, what the fuck, dude? I'm talking to you.
Actually,
why the fuck did you do that?
At this point, you'd know why I did it. And you'd think it was fucking awesome. You'd be like, that was really funny.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if I walked back in with a velvet or a long trench coat. Like a coat that was a velvet or a leather coat.
Okay, that'd be pretty fucking amazing.
Awesome, dude. Anyway, any other things about this episode that you found to be rousing or worth talking about?
I thought it was amusing when Spike entered, just that vampire talking about, like, I was at the crucifixion. That just seems like so fucking ridiculous.
Like, if everybody that said that they were at the crucifixion was at the crucifixion, it would have been like Woodstock. And then he starts talking about doing acid by, biting a hippie at Woodstock.
It seems like something a vampire would brag about, and it reminds me of Demon Knight.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah,
that was a good movie. Well, that was a good movie when I saw it when I was 12.
I still like it somewhat.
I liked it back then because there was titty.
Yeah,
there was a lot of titty.
Big fake titties though.
Yeah, but back then it didn't matter. Just seeing anything.
It doesn't matter.
Now I'd be like, I've seen better. I've seen worse. I've seen more real.
You're very specific
bouncy.
About what kind of titties you choose to view now.
Yeah. I don't like the fake ones anymore. Don't. Give me real or give me death.
All right, so how did you feel at the end? I thought this was also pretty fucking ridiculous. With Joyce hitting Spike with an axe in the back of the head, and it basically doing nothing.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Number one, I don't really understand how she hit him. Like, she didn't hit him with the blade side of the axe. She didn't hit him with the back side of the axe. She hit him with the side of the axe.
Yeah.
That is the weirdest way to hit somebody with an axe. Because that's like going away the natural feel of an axe. Number one, holding it would be like long ways in your fingers, and then when you hit somebody, like, air would be caught by the axe handle or blade.
And it's kind of pointless too, because at first I was thinking like, oh, that's fucking stupid. It's like, well, she doesn't want to split his head open. She's not a murderer. she thinks that they're just a gang hopped up on PCP.
Yeah,
it's like,
why-
okay, well then
Why not go for a leg?
Why? I was thinking, why doesn't she just turn it around
Yeah,
so it hits with the
backside.
other end?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she doesn't do that. It's
Even
fucking
though
weird.
in reality that would also kill him brutally.
Yeah, probably.
That would bludgeon him to
But
death.
it's this
It'd be really bloody.
ineffectual. It's this ineffectual strike from an axe, and then Spike's all, "Oh fuck this, I'm out of here." Like,
Yeah, it was really ridiculous. Like, he was like, oh my god, I could take you, but not you and your bitchy mom.
yeah, he's killed 2 Slayers, and he's like, "Oh, your mom sucks. I'm out of here."
I wish it had been played just for that one scene by Ashton Kutcher, and he was like, Mom! Like,
Well, you have anything else to say?
no, not really. I'm with you on the fact that this episode wasn't that great upon second viewing. It does establish a lot of cool things. It does have its moments. It does have some one-liners I enjoyed. I did enjoy watching it, but it wasn't as good as I thought, and keeps reaffirming that fact that, like, upon second viewing, episodes that we once didn't like, we like more. It seems like that's the tendency of our life.
Our expectations are maybe too high.
Maybe
Well,
our expectations are too high. Maybe we've just already know where it's going, or maybe we just are like everybody else and start looking for little things to like as opposed to the overall picture.
yeah, that is a great point. I was thinking that it's something along the lines that it's like, oh, Spike was in this episode. This is the first time, and like, it's got to be a good episode, and it's an okay episode.
It's a good episode. It's just not a great episode.
So you want to hear about the deaths before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm actually interested because I don't think I noticed a single one.
Oh, really?
I mean, turnings, Sheila.
So there are 4.
Oh, yeah, 2 other ones because of the guys that were going to double team her.
Well, there are 4 vampire deaths.
Oh.
Sheila dies twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 4 vampire deaths, and there are 3 human deaths, not including the 2 guys that Spike, I don't know if he kills them, knocks them out. I really have no idea.
He pulls one out and chokes him in the elevator shaft. He comes down, and you think he's dead, but he's not, and he pulls a gun. And then Bruce Willis shoots him.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah, so 4 vampire deaths, 3 definite human deaths, 2 possible. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Don't we have a new ending saying thing? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do, but I don't. Oh, fucking 4th and 10. Where are you going to throw?
That is totally not it, but that's what it's going to have to be this time around.
Wasn't it? That was it.
Joe, is that 4th and 10? 4th and 10 is fucking... That's awful.
12th and 9th. Where are you going to throw? 4th.
I thought it was like 3rd and long or something.
Oh, yeah, 3rd and long. Where are you going to throw?
No, it has to rhyme.
But the second part is the part that rhymes. Where are you going to throw? And he goes like, number 7, Daryl's going to drive or something like that.
Yeah, something. All right, let's see. We'll work on that next time.
Oh, that was bad.